I ask all athletes, amateur and professional, to help our young people. Our athletes in America can score high by providing youth with alternatives to crime. Kids who are playing football, baseball, basketball, and tennis are not kids committing crimes against society. Heroes of sports, instead of criminals, are the models for youngsters to look up to. I have directed my Council on Physical Fitness in Sports, in partnership with state and local authorities and private organizations, to promote team play rather than foul play, and we will. America's women are now on the front lines of our national effort to rekindle the spirit of our revolution, a spirit that just 1 year short of our 200th birthday as a nation still says all people are created equal, a spirit concerned about the reality of those words. International Women's Year is not just for women, it is for all people dedicated to seeing that the highest potential of each human being is fully achieved. I hope the Commission, which I will name together with leaders of the Congress, will infuse the Declaration of Independence with new meaning and promise for women here as well as around the world. Before I sign this, Betty, if you have any words of wisdom or encouragement, you're welcome to speak.
Congratulate you, Mr. President. You have come a long, long way. When I went into the operating room that morning, I had a pretty good premonition that it was going to turn out to be a malignancy and that my breast would have to be removed. But once the operation was over, I was really very much relieved. I felt the doctors had removed the cancer at such an early stage that I was very lucky and would have no more trouble. The malignancy was something my husband never expected, and he couldn't believe it was happening to me. The whole family were so depressed. I think their surprise was a very natural reaction, because one day I appeared to be fine, and the very next day, I was in the hospital for a mastectomy. This made me realize how many women in this country could be in exactly the same situation. That realization made me decide to discuss my breast cancer operation openly, because I thought of all of the many lives in jeopardy. I just cannot stress enough how necessary it is for women to take the time out of their active lives and take an interest in their own health and their own body.
When I became president on August 9, 1974, our nation was deeply divided and tormented. In rapid succession, the vice president and the president had resigned in disgrace. We were still struggling with the after effects of a long, unpopular, and bloody war in Southeast Asia. The economy was unstable and racing toward the worst recession in 40 years. People were losing jobs. The cost of living was soaring. The Congress and the chief executive were at loggerheads. The integrity of our constitutional process and other institutions was being questioned. In the grave situation which prevailed in August 1974, our will to maintain our international leadership was in doubt. I asked for your prayers and went to work. In January 1975, I reported to the Congress that the State of the Union was not good. I proposed urgent action to improve the economy and to achieve energy independence in 10 years. I reassured America's allies and sought to reduce the danger of confrontation with potential adversaries. I pledged a new direction for America. 1975 was a year of difficult decisions, but Americans responded with realism, common sense, and self-discipline. By January 1976, we were headed in a new direction, which I hold to be the right direction for a free society. After 30 months as your president, I can say that while we still have a way to go, I am proud of the long way we have come together. I am proud of the part I have had in rebuilding confidence in the presidency, confidence in our free system, and confidence in our future. Once again, Americans believe in themselves, in their leaders, and in the promise that tomorrow holds for their children.
The old house is gone, but the new brick walls and porch steps follow the outline of the original front of the house. The outer stone walls and some of the larger trees are all that remain from the time I lived here. The white colonnades to the north and rose garden to the west remind me of a later house which I was privileged to occupy for a couple of years. The White House has become the symbol of leadership in this country and throughout most of the free world. Lists of those who have temporarily lived in the White House or governor's mansion remind us that the authority to lead comes from the people and may be bestowed on any citizen from any background. I encourage you to pause in this garden and think about the qualities of good citizenship, the way we choose and support our leaders, and about our cherished form of government.